4 years ago, I realized I have a great life. I have a great career. I love my work. How lucky are you if you love your work? How many people love their work? That's good. They say it's about 50%, so we are the lucky people. And I had friends, and my health was good, and had enough money, and I didn't have the love of my life. And I was a marriage and family therapist, but I had 2 failed marriages, a lot of failed relationships, and I decided 4 years ago, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna find the love of my life. So I hired a coach, and I went back to therapy, and I went on 5 dating sites, online dating sites, and I started going out my thing was to go to art gallery openings because I like creative people, and I just forced myself to learn how to talk to people and go up to people I was attracted to or just anybody. And 9 months ago, I met the love of my life. So I want to share with you what I learned, and I wrote this book, Tantric Dating, and a lot of what I'll be talking about is in this book, and that'll be available afterwards. And both of us are always saying, how could it possibly be this good? So that's possible for you too. But you may have to learn to see things a little differently. Does anybody know Dr. John Gottman? Dr. John Gottman is up in Seattle. He and his wife are, I can't remember her first name, Julie. And he is a researcher at University of Washington, and he actually takes couples and sticks electrodes onto them and measures the body's response to when they have fights, or when they snipe at each other, or when they give affection, or whatever. And he found out that, I love this statistic, it's so shocking. Huh? I'm gonna build the suspense a little longer. 70% of people in happy relationships say that the friendship is the most important thing. That's men and women, the friendship. So when we go out as single people, most of us aren't looking for friendship because it's the dreaded friend zone. A friend of mine gave a lecture to a group of pickup artists, and they said their main object is to stay out of the friend zone. He's like, the friend zone is where you want to be. Because that's what makes relationships work. So you see, we've been taught a way of dating. Not only is it unloving, which we'll get into a little bit later, but it's encouraging us to look for the thing that doesn't work. It's encouraging us to look for the thing that doesn't work, and we keep trying to make it work even though it will never work. And then we think there's something wrong with us or something wrong with the other person. But we're being taught to look in a way and value in a way that actually doesn't work. So it's the way we're seeing, what we've been taught to look, the way we've been taught to look, who we've been taught, and we're taught to look for this longing, which is supposed to be a spiritual longing. My spiritual master Osho said, all your relationships will be thwarted because what you're really seeking is spiritual connection. And until we realize that that type of longing is a spiritual longing that no person can fulfill, it's going to continue to be thwarted. So it's beautiful to be on a spiritual path. I've been on one all my life, and I'm sure a lot of people in this room have too. And we can have spiritual love and spiritual sex with another person, but we have to realize that the other person is not fulfilling that totally. We ask a lot of relationships today. We want this person to be our best friend and like all the things we like and be great in bed and be good with the kids and like all the same TV shows. It's a large bill of goods. So there's this myth out, and I was really, that 3.5 years, so that 3.5 years when I was out dating, I went on over 150 first dates. I just kept pushing myself. And then when you go on 150 first dates, then there's all the second dates and third dates, and then there's the little times you maybe click with somebody and then you don't, and then there's a ton of rejection, so-called rejection. And there was always this idea that you don't want to be in the friend zone. How do you guys equate that fact that you're not supposed to be in the friend zone, but that's what constitutes successful relationships? So there's a big difference. So we talked about earlier that a lot of why we're not finding love is because of the way we're looking. And the way we're looking also involves this element of looking only with the mind and the eyes. Now, we can end up with a very attractive person. This is always what people say to me. Do I have to be with somebody ugly? Who said that? That's always what comes up immediately. Do I have to be with somebody ugly?
They can still be assholes.
What's that? What's that? What'd you say?
They can still be assholes.
Okay. Did you know, this is a very interesting, well, that's a hard word, statistic. 50% of men are considered good looking, and 1/3 of women are considered good looking.
Based on what?
Based on surveys. Would you?
The opposite sex? Or
I don't actually know who did the survey. Some college people got PhDs doing that. I don't know. But you can take that and believe it or not, but go out and look for yourself how you've been trained to see, just see if it's true for you. Notice how you've been trained to see a higher percentage of men as being attractive, and women are held to a different standard in this quest, which isn't working for people. Exactly as he's saying, is if we can relax and come into our bodies, we can meet another person without so much judgment, as you were pointing out. And then dating and meeting become something that's still challenging until you, like any skill, you can get better at it. But that is one technique that you can go home with tonight, is that if you can actually breathe and get in your body, it's more easy to sit with another person and really get who they are and not be going, I wonder how much money they make. So yes, so when we're looking for this person with this idea of the romantic love that we talked about that was invented, I meet a guy, a woman who I think is close to this, and then I throw myself into it and try to make it work no matter how it feels. It makes me anxious because it's not going very well, because I don't actually probably even have chemistry with this person. Chemistry is a tricky word. I probably don't even have an energy with this person, but I'm trying to make it work because that's how I've been told it's supposed to work. If we can be in the present moment breathing with another person, blindfolded, so to speak, feeling this energy, is this a person I would like to be with all afternoon in a sexual context, in a friendly context, in whatever kind of context. But we're being told it's either or. We're being told it's the friend zone or it's this thing that leads to suffering. So part of what we do is, as we're talking about, is we develop ourselves. In order to find love, we have to develop ourselves as more loving people, because love attracts love. I had to finally come to the realization that a lot of reason I hadn't attracted love is because I wasn't a loving enough person. So we practice, as you've been doing tonight, this is called love. This is called connection. There's a lot of love in this room tonight. So we develop ourselves, we open more to love, and then love is magnetized to us.